Mlembe swa, mlembe te, mlembe mia, mlembe power. Comrades power. Tuko salama, tuko poa, tuko Kakamega. Lazima kukuwe na nguvu hapa, sawa sawa. Hello. So a very quick one. I love to bring in the PS, but Professor Machuki ako na deni yangu lazima alipe. So kidogo tu. You know, Prof, you are the president's advisor. You guys are in a council. There's a little bit of a problem out here, especially vitu zinaenda na S, Chief, Sha. So there's too much misinformation about that and everything else, and there's been a sustained campaign along the way. I'd love you to also just tell comrades here what the Social Health Authority means. How about Chief? You know, these are the authorities of information, where they come from. Si nyinyi ndio mkisema ni mwisho? Si mkiulizwa nyinyi ndio mwisho, si ndio? As in nyinyi ndio mwisho wa mawazo na maswali. So saidia comrades hapa, because sometimes pia unapata wanasambaza fitina na ile information iko half baked, like what Paul in the Bible says, old wives fables. Ani fitina tu na story tu. So please take us through Chief Sha, but briefly, so that then you have got a third question. Everybody else will only do questions, you have got a third one. Ukikula time niwe nitanyonga. Mungu akubariki as you keep time.
Arnold, you could have allowed me to anchor the entire discussion on the president's bottom-up economic transformation agenda. As I said earlier, the president's intent is to entrench constitutionalism, institutionalize politics, move from personality politics to issue-based, and democratization of the economy, to get everybody to do work and focus on the bottom of the economic pyramid. On that particular aspect, then, all the conversations here, the president realized that we need to deal with 5 issues. 1 is to lower the cost of living. 2 is to deal with unemployment. 3 is to ensure there is revenue to everyone, and by expanding the revenue base, then pesa inakuwa mfukoni, by working and by creating more jobs. And 4 is ensuring that our relations with regard to foreign exchange, there is positive balance. And 5, inclusivity, inclusive growth. When you see all these discussions on policy, the entire policy conversation in this town hall is anchored on those 5 priorities. And to have a quick turnaround on those 5 priorities, 5 pillars were picked to have the shortest turnaround. The first one is agricultural transformation, that deals with ending or reducing exports of food items, reducing imports, increasing exports, and coming up or having food security. The second one is micro, small enterprise development, and the PS has alluded to that very ably. The third one is affordable housing, and it has been very well brought out. The fourth one is universal health coverage, and I will deal with it. But the fifth one, which is another avenue through which jobs can be created, is digital, superhighway, and creative economy. So it is very important that this conversation is anchored on the government and the current administration's bottom-up economic transformation agenda, and it is the first government to use its manifesto as a policy document to govern and manage the economy. On the universal health coverage, the reality of the situation is this, that many of us have found ourselves in WhatsApp groups contributing to medical bills. Mheshimiwa Chafet, You are in close to around 10 of those WhatsApp groups. Medical bills, what to aga, and all those you are contributing day in, day out. That is one. The heavy burden on healthcare to all citizens in Kenya made it necessary that we universalize access to quality healthcare through universal health coverage. How does it work? Through a legislative process, the government was able to come up with 4 laws that anchor the delivery of universal health coverage. The first law that was passed by the current parliament is called Primary Health Care Act. That Primary Health Care Act gives the lower level health facilities to be strengthened through what we call primary care networks, and they are created at level 1 and level 2. And at these particular facilities, the government is then able to fund their services through what we call primary health care fund. And through another law, which is called the Healthcare Facilities Financing, previously, the government used to have capitation to counties so that counties can then be able to fund the infrastructure development of level 1, level 2, and level 3 healthcare facilities that are mostly under the county administration. But it became so difficult to have those funds go into the facilities. You will find that some of those funds will be allocated to build gates somewhere, to do some road, and the health care facilities are left dilapidated. So the act, that is Healthcare Facilities Financing Act, ring-fences the funds that are generated through user facilities, through allocation to counties, to go into those facilities and improve the facilities for purposes of enhancing quality health care. Now, the third law is called Universal Insurance, it is called Social Insurance Act. The Social Insurance Act is the one that creates the Social Health Authority. Social Health Authority is the one that administers 3 funds. Previously, it was just one fund called the National Health Insurance Fund. Currently, we have 3 funds, and I want you to get that very clearly so that you are able to get the difference, and I will also be able to explain how SHIV works. The first fund is called the Primary Health Care Fund. This one is government that pays to the primary health care facilities so that the public and the citizens will get healthcare services for free. The second fund is the Social Health Insurance Fund, SHIF. SHIF is contributory. The reason why it has generated a lot of concern is because the citizens, those who are both in the self-employment and those in formal employment, contribute to the Social Health Insurance Fund so that as you graduate from level 3, you go to level 4 facilities and level 5, then insurance kicks in, and that is mandatory contribution. The third fund is called Critical Illnesses and Emergencies Fund. For those illnesses that are chronic and critical, like the cancers, those illnesses that are beyond level 4, the government is able to pay. Now, when you come to social health insurance fund, it is important to note that for you to be able to have access to the healthcare facilities, 1, 3 or 4 things have to happen. Number 1, you as an individual at household level, there is a need for registration. You register into the Social Health Authority and you provide information. If you are employed, it is very clear that your contribution will be 2.75% of your gross income. If you are self-employed, you provide information that will then generate what we call the means testing instrument to give you the rate that you have to contribute the 2.75% about in terms of your gross income. And there are those that have been under the social safety nets of the government, the social protection. Those are called the indigents and the prisoners. Government pays for them. Now, before you register, then you cannot be able to access these particular services because your contribution is not yet determined. Number 2 is that the healthcare facilities that offer these healthcare services, the private, the public, and the mission hospitals, all of them have to get contracted by the Social Health Authority. So you have seen cases in the media where patients go to facilities and they are turned away. It is because that particular facility has not been contracted by the Social Health Authority. So if you go to a facility that has not been contracted by the Social Health Authority, it is unlikely that you can benefit from social health insurance because the facility is not contracted. It will ask you to pay because it has not been contracted. So what is happening is that there is a drive to onboard all the facilities so that they are contracted by the Social Health Authority, because Social Health Authority is responsible for strategic purchasing of health services from the healthcare facilities. Strategic purchasing of healthcare facilities from healthcare services from healthcare facilities. The healthcare facilities provide service. Social Health Authority purchases those services on behalf of the citizens. So if you are a contributor through SHIF, then, and you go to a facility that belongs to the primary care network, or you have been referred to level 4, then you are able to access. The last act is the Digital Health Act. Previously, issues of governance bedeviling NHIF, and I have said it before, that the claims management and claims authorization used to have human interface, and there used to be facilities that is a chemist, is a dispensing chemist that is registered in NHIF as a level 5 healthcare facility. Now, this chemist then manufactures claims saying that it has amputated 100 patients, men have given birth in that facility, and several other things, and then the claims go because of non-traceability. Then a lot of resources were going into those false claims. The Digital Health Act has created a digital ecosystem to, as much as possible, reduce human interaction, human interface. The doctors sign into the system, they get to prescribe for you, and it traces all the way up to the point you receive the medication, you receive the treatment, you are discharged, and it is traced in the digital system. That way, the issues of governance, the issues of risk management, the issues of fake claims, and all that have gone down. As at yesterday, 14 million Kenyans had registered with SHA, and we are now in the process of encouraging those who have registered to also onboard their dependents.
Thank you.
We are moving from individuals to households, right? And therefore, it is important that when this registration is happening in SHA, please also remember, if you have a dependent, many of us could be dependents to our parents, but I also know that some of us are individuals who have dependents. And therefore, it is important to take note of that. So the contribution annual that has been there is with regard to what are the prerequisites for us to be able to access the services, more especially based on the social health insurance fund, because that is where Kenyans contribute. This other one is government. The other top one, the critical illnesses and emergencies fund, is government funded. The lower one is government funded. The one that has got issue is where there is contribution by the citizens. The former NHIF now transitioning into SHIF. 1, register. 2, the facilities must also be contracted by Social Health Authority. And there are different packages for the different facilities.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Clap for Prof. And just to remind you, it's important that you know how it's registered. You dial *147#. One country, 47 counties. *147#, then you are onboarded. I love to remind young people this way. You know, online, there's a lot of opposing and making noise. A lot of those people who are online making noise and telling you how SHA and everything else is not working are actually registered. So I want to encourage you. First of all, register. Tell the people in your family to register, and then come online and continue to resist. But register. Hello? Tuko pamoja? Register and then come online to continue joining others, because sometimes you are busy with people arguing online, then they are have you ever seen them have problems? So do the registration. Tell the guys at home to register. It's simple. If you can't go to a facility, if you cannot go to a cyber cafe, do it on a USSD platform. That is any phone, even Kabambe. *147#, and you are good to go. Comrades, power. Tuko salama. I'd love to. We have got 2 questions to the PS. Then we can get to the question and answer session. That is, we've actually spent 1 hour up to this particular point. It's actually so good. So some of the questions that keep on showing up on Hustler Fund is after individual loans, there was a promise of groups. How do we progress? How far are we? Because there are some good numbers that are out there, but then somehow guys keep on asking, so how do we progress? Hii ingine yenye tumekuambia tutakulipa baadaye, hiyo tunajua vile tunapata. *254#. We know how we get around that. Now we want to know how we get groups and the others. Just know vile tumesema tuko na mpango, kuna kakitu tunafanya, kuna deal, wale ulikuwa unataka kushughulikia tutalipa. But sasa how do we get it as groups? How do we move on? Then you had a question, Uba.
Yes, Madam Pierce, are there specific programs aimed at youth-led businesses in the agricultural and manufacturing sectors, given the high unemployment rate?
Yeah. Thank you. Actually, I was going to take an offense if you did not also tell our comrades on how to dial and repay. So Hustler Fund, get out your phone, whether it's a feature phone, smartphone, you don't need to have airtime. So just dial *254#, Kenya. You know, so that's the Kenyan code, *254#. You can dial with me. There are goodies coming. Just hold your phone and start dialing with me and see whether you have my loan and repay. And okay, thank you. But before I come to you, allow me to veer off a little bit because it's important probably to emphasize why this forum is very important, and also just to thank the UDA party for thinking, coming up with such an initiative. I am a beneficiary of such kind of forum. I've grown in political party systems. I'm where I am today because of having an opportunity to engage in policy level. I started off by putting posters, like most of us have done, right? By wearing, singing, doing all those things you can do. But again, it reached a point when we had to ask ourselves. So we keep on saying, and I saw you talking about this, that the future belongs to young people. The future does not belong to young people. It is the present that belongs to young people. Because the future belongs to those that the young people of today are yet to bring about, isn't it? And whenever I engage with the comrades, because I've had an opportunity while growing up in political party family to engage across the world. I've had experience with the Asian political system, with the US, with Africa, you know, ANC, CCM, all over. And if you see a party that brings the young people on board, that party is very much concerned about solving the problems of its people. Now, I want to give you a quote, and I know most of you probably who are political scientists like myself. I first of all did political science before I now went to the stream of entrepreneurship. Frantz Fanon says, each generation has out of relative obscurity do what? I want to see political scientists in this room. Do what? Find its own mission, fulfill it, or betray it. Are we together? Each generation, each young generation, let me talk about that. And so sometimes we have to ask ourselves, what is our generational mission as young people of today? If I were to answer that, our generational mission for this great nation is bringing about economic freedom, because that's what pains us most. Our generation is where we have majority of our people who are unemployed and in a space where we have no job. Let me shock you with numbers. Out of 20 million workforce, only 3.5 million Kenya are formally employed. Majority of them are not employed. Every year, we have close to 1 million Kenya getting into workforce. We are not even there for us who are yet to graduate. And you go there and you find millions of those who have not been employed. And out of the 3.5 million who are formally employed, the civil service, where I belong, where a few people here belong there, I think here, some of us belong here, apart from the student there. I think Professor now, you also belong there. And the MPs, the MCA belong there. Accounts for less than 1 million. And that's why anytime we are announcing for police recruitments, you see tens of thousands of people. Jeshi, everybody there. So what am I pointing to? I'm saying it is possible for us to start creating our own jobs even while we are still studying. And for me, that's the conversation that I want us to have today. And as I respond, beginning with her question, what programs do we have? My objective is to start working with you to start creating your own job before you even graduate. So that when you go outside there, you are fully economically secured. And how are we going to do that? I know many people look at me and they think I'm only having hustler fund. Beyond the hustler fund, I have Kenya Industrial Estate. Kenya Industrial Estate is an institution which has been there for more than 56 years, since the beginning of Kenya as an independent state. And it was formed deliberately to give the African Kenyans an opportunity to invest in the manufacturing sector, because they realized they couldn't afford credit and compete with the white Kenyans. So today you can borrow up to 20 million, provided you have a very good idea. You want to do value addition in agricultural sector like what she was asking. And now speaking, while in this region of Western, what value chain are we looking at? We are looking at one, edible oil. I know you see our parents and our grandparents have been investing in sugarcane, but still we can do value add even in sugarcane. And most of us who are in school, I know we are coming up with very good ideas on how we can do ethanol even from sugar, how we can do other products from there. And so, if you are in that space and you are interested in venturing into the manufacturing, come sit down with me. We see how we can support you through machinery, through setting up your own cottage industry within your space, so that first you can create your own job and create job for the rest. I have micro small enterprise authority. I think this is where now we become very good friends. And one of the program, and I'm staring at two programs which I'm rolling out this financial year and probably before the end of this second quarter. The first one is National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement, Nyota. And in this, my component there through Micro Small Enterprise Authority, who have also an office here, even KI have got an office here, we will be giving young people a grant of, we train you to ensure that you can come up and generate an idea that will help you, and we'll give young people between 18 to 34 years a grant. This is a grant. This one you don't have to repay. However, you must be in good books with me on my Hustler Fund. Why would I give you 50,000 when you ran away with 500 shillings? Are we together? So that's why you see now, I told you pick out your phone and make sure you are in good books. And so we will be targeting young people from every constituency, and we all belong to constituencies. And comrade, I will really want to give you an opportunity. So I'll be giving each one people in the next 5 years, a young person, 50,000, but after training you, and that 50,000 is to just jog your mind and see which kind of business you can do. That's grants. We were having that program with the World Bank. The second program, again, under the micro, which is being implemented through that agency, Small Enterprise Authority, is called Kenya Jobs Economic Transformation, KJET. Again, this is a program that is targeting young people. We want to work with young people who are looking at the manufacturing sector. We will co-invest. For example, you've seen we have county aggregation and industrial park, which we are setting up. Here in Kakamega, we launched one. In Bungoma, we have. In Busia, we have Nasewa Industrial Park. But who are going to invest in those places? It is us Kenyans. And where the majority of Kenyans are young people. So we came up with a project again. This one you won't pay interest. What we'll be doing, we co-invest. You want to buy a machinery of, let's say, 30 million. You cannot raise that money. So we can support you with 70% financing. And if you are a young people, you cluster yourself into a group. We give you, let's say, 50,000. If you are 10 people, that's about 500,000. If you are 20 people, that's 1 million. So you can put that 1 million there as 30%, and we do 70% financing through KJET project so that you can start investing in your own cottage industry. I'm not telling you a story. I'm telling you of programs that are ready to go. But I'm saying, I just want you people, first of all, to come and repay my Hustler Fund, be in good books, so that then I can give you those opportunities. But let me also, I want to answer your question. You ask me how many other products are we coming up with. So the first product of Hustler Fund is the personal product, the one that all of us know. So on 30th November this year, during second anniversary, we'll be launching one more product, and this one will be Bridge product to usher you now into the SME loan, where you can borrow as much credit as you need, provided you have a good Hustler Fund credit score. On the very day, we will be also launching the Hustler Fund credit score, which is segmented. We have segmented scores into 3. So we have a bucket which is C. So be very careful to repay, so that if you read C, it means you're very poor, nobody can trust you. If you are B, you're fair. If you are A, you are extremely a good person. And to date, we have lent out close to 59.5 billion of the personal loan. So we are using personal loan as a base to filter out who are these young people, who are these Kenyans that are serious. If I had more time, I will give you figures up to your ward level to see how you are really interacting with this product. And then we have also been able to mobilize close to 3.3 billion Kenyan shillings in saving. So, and you know, as you borrow Hustler Fund, you also been saving. So we are trying to disabuse that notion that we have Kenya maskini hohehahe. You have something which you are saving for yourself, which 70% goes to populate your pension, 30% will be there to support you. Lastly, and most importantly, is that this credit score, it will help the government now revolutionize the collateral system. We want the Kenyan economy and the credit market to move away from the conventional collateral system of title deeds, of payslip and whatever, now to start moving towards looking at your credit score. Your Hustler Fund credit score will be your new title deed. Now, do you have comrades from Masinde University here? Who are comrades from Masinde, Muliro? How many are they? Let me tell you. 2 days ago, there is an alumni of Masinde Muliro. So, we supported him to flag off a consignment of goods to Juba. He has a trading company. He's 27-year-old. His name is Felix Chege. He started trading while he was first year here. He started taking advantage of agri opportunities that she was talking about to get facility, to do tenders with the county governments and whoever will care to give him an opportunity. Today, he's owning the only trading company under AFCFTA, Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Is a material of Masinde Muliro University, and that shows that our young people, if given an opportunity, you don't need to wait until you have graduated to make your 1 million shilling. And I want to work with you. I want you to take advantage of this opportunity so that we can start creating our own jobs even before we graduate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please clap for the PS. Now, we are coming to the open mic session. And during this session, we agreed that I will give you 1 minute for a question. And if you do not have a question and feel inspired enough to give a comment, I'll give you 2 minutes. Si tumeelewana? We spoke about that. You are 600 of you. I will need to give as many people an opportunity as possible. And all of you are scholars. Therefore, there's no one with a monopoly on questions, right? Hello? But as ushers take their positions, there are some gentlemen. I've not seen a lady, because the other lady I see is Director Grace. So there is Mogesi there. He's also a comrade. Those are our ushers. You catch their eye, they will direct me. I'll give you an opportunity to ask. We take questions in so many rounds. So ukimiss round 1, tutaenda round 2. Unatulia tu. Sawa sawa? So you ask your question in a minute. If you've got a comment, 2 minutes. Sawa sawa? But before we do that, as they prepare, just a quick one. There was an issue of youth. It was raised by Fred down there. I would love the Secretary General, Honorable Nyakundi, to actually respond to that. Please, Uba, get him that mic. Just as an intermediary, he will be coming in later on, of course, but I want him to speak to the issue of youth because our government has actually taken care of youth. And one of the reasons why I actually do this deliberately is because he is youth. Unajua watu huku kwetu wakikula wako sawa. So unaweza kufikiria ni mbaba na ni boy. So kusema kuwa mtabaki hamna watu, he will speak to that. But as he does that kindly, I have seen some MCS. In a minute, please just raise up, upate mic na useme jina. Mbona waheshimiwa MCS wetu hapa tafadhali. Daktari yuko hapa. I don't think there are so many MCS with a PhD, right? Magelo, please stand up. Uba, Mike, please. At the tail end, of course, the treasurer and the representative of the SG will be having a conversation, so watajipanga. Uba, the mic, please.
Habari zenu. Naitwa Masi Luseno, nominated MCA kwa chama kubwa, chama cha UDA.
Pigia makofi.
Comrades power. Mimi naitwa Kevin Mahelo, alumni Masinde Muliro, alumni KCA, alumni JKUAT, MCA wa UDA. Tutembee pamoja tusaidie serikali. Asante.
Mwesh, kabla upeane mic. Rudisha hiyo mic ashiki kwanza Mwesh. Unajua ukisema alumni ukienda unajua easy degrees we earn them out of hard work. Usiogope kusema.
Thank you. I did my bachelor's at Masinde Muliro University. I did my master's at KCA University, and I'm completing my PhD at JKUAT. Thank you.
Clap for him.
Comrades power. Comrades wisdom. I'm Masinza Daphne, nominated MCA on a UDA ticket. Tumesikia chama niku from Malava sub-county.
Thank you very much. Okay. Any other mheshimiwa kutoka Kakamega County whom we've not spoken to? Okay. I wanted the treasurer kusema tu kuwa vijana tuko sawa kwa hii serikali, then nitamleta baadaye apange kazi. Yeye unajua ndio nisipomwongelesha vizuri amlipwi. So nilikuwa nataka aseme hii serikali iko na vijana. Tafadhali treasurer, ndakuleta mara ya mwisho ufunge kazi, lakini ni vizuri
Comrades power. Comrades power. Comrades transact. Comrades transact. Hapo kwa transact ni haja mpigi hiyo show. Comrades transact. Comrades wisdom. Comrades wisdom. A breakup should not find you. A breakup should not find you single. Hata sisi in UDA, the breakup did not find us single. That is why we have the broad-based government. Sindio? Thank you so much, all of you, for turning up for this Comrades chapter. I'm very happy to be here today on behalf of the Secretary General of the ruling party, Hassan Omar, on behalf of the chairperson, Honorable Cecil Mbarire, and most sincerely on behalf of our loved President, President William Samoei Arap Ruto. Maliba has just caught me unawares. I was busy here with my sister Antonella discussing other issues. But what I will tell each and every one of you, that the Kenya Kwanza government, now the broad-based government, because even the others are now inside,